What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to RB Barna. It's episode number 3 here, of course, in Football Manager 2020. And it's a huge game. We take on Real Madrid. For the occasion, the webcam's been brought out again with the green screen. I've not gone all the way, and we're not wearing a suit. It's not that big of an occasion just yet. But, I don't know, first game at home, first game against one of the big boys here. And it's a bit of a scary game, I'm not going to lie. I feel like, if anything, the webcam will allow you to enjoy the heartbreak and humiliation that we may endure today. But anyway, you can see here, I thought we'd start on the dynamics and just have a look through a few of the, behind-the-scenes things. I feel like when you get a new group of players and mush them together, things sometimes happen for the better and sometimes for the worse. So far, so good in terms of dressing room atmosphere and managerial support. We're one game into the season and we've not really even had a transfer window, so that's to be expected, I guess. Team cohesion is definitely something that we're going to have to work on. So many new players coming into the team, kind of inevitable. I kind of find it funny that in terms of social groups, the secondary social group is all the original players, pretty much, that were kept over from the Celta Vigo days. And then you've got the core social group, which is just made up of a load of mercenaries who have come in. I don't know, it just kind of looks a little bit weird to me. But all in all, hopefully these players are going to gel, they're all going to get on and be best friends. In terms of the hierarchy, it's kind of interesting because it's players from that secondary social group, the more experienced players in our team, who are, making up the leaders. You can see here, Aspas is approaching the end of his career. If he retires soon, we should be able to cope. I love the fact that our assistant's talking about a player who's got an injury for 5 to 7 months retiring. That makes me nervous for the fact he might not be around for that long. I am actually terrified that his physicals fall off a cliff whilst he's out and we have to kind of deploy him as an enganche. I mean, it's a career choice that he could almost definitely make. I've not used an enganche in years. If he comes back and he has 10 acceleration, we'll consider it. But yeah, you can see the rest of the team here. So far, so good. Everyone is pretty much happy. A few players concerned with their training. You know what, Mendes, you can complain about the extra training, but I need you to learn to play right midfield and I need you to get quicker. Like 14 pace, 13 acceleration, not cutting it for me out on the right. You can see he's actually already learned to play accomplished out on the right. Previously, he was competent, so decent adaptability to learn that. And, well, I'm going to ignore all his concerns because clearly there's nothing to be concerned about. But yeah, so far so good in that regard. In terms of training, we've got everyone set up. Perez is putting in good performances. The 19-year-old here, really hot prospect for the future. He is one of the only non-EU players in our team. He is registered for our squad, but being our 5th choice centre-back, I've made him available for the B team. We'll keep an eye on him and see how he gets on. The young Argentine, though, looks very, very good. And look at that work rate jump up. I can't actually view the jump up yet, but it's jumped up. I wonder what's caused that. That might be an off-the-field incident. Either way, players performing well in training, Haaland and Hodara. That's what you want to see. I feel like we've not talked enough about Haaland, and I know a lot of you are really familiar with him. You're kind of bored of him. He's blooming good, though, in FM this year. And he, alongside Mina, are our two kind of go-to strikers in Aspas's absence. I feel like Mina's a little bit better technical wise, but you can see here Haaland kind of has him beat in other areas. It's kind of weird, actually. When you look at the bar charts, you'd say there's not a great deal between them, but then the polygon makes it look like Haaland's just by far and away the better player. It's kind of weird how that works in FM. I don't feel like you can choose to trust the polygon outright. In terms of the direct comparison, you can see a bit more here. Two players who are very, very good. I love the fact that Mina enjoys big matches, and actually, based on the fact that he scored last game, I might give him the nod today. In terms of team news, the only bit of news is the fact that Dom got an injury. I gave him a nickname and he immediately got a thigh strain. I don't know if that's on me, if that's on him, but we are going to have to jig things around. We have got Goodson Fernandez here, a player we've not really talked about much, but he's very, very good. Unfortunately, however, he starts the save game with a broken toe, which he's kind of still suffering from. As a result, we're going to have to play, I think, Marin here just on the bench. And with the injuries that we've got, and the fact a few players played in B-team games recently, we're kind of a little light on the ground in terms of players in our first team. Of course, you can only have 25 players registered here in Spain. I'm the kind of person who typically likes a 30-man squad, so this is going to be a challenge for us. You can see if we just look at squad depth here and then up the minimum ability to, should we say 3-star? Let's go with 2-star. Of course, star ratings, if you don't know, they are relative to the rest of your team. So A 5-star player for Barcelona. Well, no, that's a bad example. A 5-star player for me is likely to be a 3-star player for Barcelona, for example. It's relative to one another. So if you have a 5-star player, they are by far and away the better player in your team. For us, we've got one 4-star player really in Aspas, who is definitely our best player, and then a few 3.5-star players. But anyway, this is our team depth. We've got pretty good depth across the board. I'd say fullback-wise, there's maybe a little bit of a concern. Whilst we've got some good centre-backs here, players like Hugo Mallo, who of course can slot in at centre-back, I wouldn't say it's as strong as it looks here. I feel like Jordi Amat here, I mean, he's not outrageous, is he, the 27-year-old? He's kind of our 3rd or 4th choice centre-back in truth. I don't think I'd ever actually play Hugo Mallo at centre-back because of his 9 jumping reach, even if he's naturally kind of good playing there. But Amat, yeah, backup quality is probably the best way to describe him. And that's kind of one of the issues we might have to battle with a little bit here, is the fact that if we do get a few injuries, if we do have to jig things around, we've got good young players, but do they have the current ability to immediately step up and make a difference? That's going to be interesting to monitor. For this game also, good little bit of news is the fact that Luis is back, so we can bring in the young 20-year-old. He is going to be playing that centre mid on defend duty. And this is the team that we're going to go with. I think we'll stick with Blanco in goal. He kept a clean sheet on his debut. Reguilon, the former Madrid man, can he get some revenge? That's going to be the question. At left back, you wouldn't really bank on him to get goals. Maybe an assist or 2 for him would be nice. Right back, we've of course got Marlo, Onguene and Kanate at the back. Luis comes in alongside Hadara, who I really, really like the look of. At 21 years old, this guy's interesting. You can kind of train him to play lots of different ways. Right now, we're training him to play box-to-box midfielder with a focus on his shooting. I feel like he has just really good athleticism and natural fitness and just stamina. That said, with his vision and his passing, he's very capable as a playmaker as well. But at 21, loads of time for him to improve. Lobotka, we are training to play as a attacking midfielder. You can see as a centre mid, as an advanced playmaker, he's got really good kind of natural instinct for it. Playing slightly higher up the pitch is asking a little bit more from him. With that in mind, and the fact that we are taking on Real Madrid today, I'm actually tempted to switch systems here and go to our 3-man midfield and see how it does. Mendes didn't have the best game, did he, last time? We could drop him. Because he's left-footed, I don't know how well suited he is to being a winger. Or we just play for symmetry and do play him as an inverted winger as well. You can see with how we're lining up things here. Reguilon, I'm willing to give a bit more attacking permission to, but Marlo, I do need to be just a little bit more reserved on the support duty here. The instructions for this system are all about kind of trying to press hard and do some short passing, but really, it's the trio in the midfield that this system is built around. It's what we did at Lyon last year. If you watch Lyon live, you're kind of familiar with the theory of this, but I want our 3 really good players who are actually pretty good both attackingly and defensive-wise, to just shut out any creativity, and I want to win that midfield battle. I don't want to see our assistant giving us the dreaded FM message of we're being overrun in midfield. If anything, we should be overrunning them. It's what we're going to try and do against Real Madrid. We're actually going to start on the balanced mentality here. Depending on how the game goes, we can adapt things. We can go more attacking. We can go more defensive. But, yeah, we'll see how we get on. We're going to really try and press hard as well. That's another thing with this system. I want to suffocate the midfield, force them to go long, and we'll see how we go from there. But anyway, let's submit our team for this game. Florento Luis and Mina are lacking a little bit of match fitness. Of course, we've got Haaland on the bench. We've got other options on the bench as well. So if we need to take them out, if they're struggling into the game, we can do that. Of course, it is Luis's debut here. A big moment for the 20-year-old. A debut at home in our first ever home game against Real Madrid. Eden Hazard is very good, isn't he? 20 dribbling. I mean, how does he compare? I'm curious, because I feel like Aspas is actually very, very good in FM. How do they compare? Aspas is very good in FM, but the physicals on Hazard are scary. And also, Hazard is fit to play. Aspas isn't. So, yeah, that's a problem. But, well, looking at their team, Kroos and Modric, they are the 2 players I want us to completely shut down. And, well, hopefully they can do that for us. And by they, I mean Hadara and co. I don't know why I demanded stuff from the players. I've confused Denis Suarez. It's a disaster. He's like, why are we expected to win? It's not my best team talk going into the biggest game ever. Lots of empty seats you'll notice as well. This stadium holds over 50,000 fans. I think we have something like 20,000 season ticket holders. It's going to be a development, I guess, here at Barna. I'm hoping over the course of the years we're going to see the stadium slowly flesh out. You know, fans flock to see us play as Hazard shoots that narrowly over the crossbar. That's a little bit of a shot warning, isn't it? If you're sat there thinking, by the way, this pitch is really big. Yeah, this is the maximum pitch size we can have in the league. I want to stretch teams wide. And we're going to do that here with Lobotka. He's through. He's shot it over. I actually thought he was going to score. The 24-year-old, one of the more experienced players in our team. You back him to at least hit the target. I can't actually get over how big our pitch is. It feels a bit silly. But with us playing this quite wide 5-man midfield, I really do want us to stretch teams quite wide. We are going to focus on short passing. But yeah, whilst we're narrow and compact, there's going to be tons of space for wing-backs to apply their trade and also for us to find channels and openings. And, well, speaking of channels and openings, Hazard's found one. Blanco, I want to claim he's made a save. He hasn't. He's put Hazard off, though. You know, he's made himself big. He's made them scared. Zidane's botched his shout from the sideline. Let's do something for our boys. They're loving it. You know what I miss in football? You know the old goalkeeper kits from the 90s? I don't know if this was just in England, but they'd have crazy designs on. I'm talking like church carpet patterns. I realise that I'm sat here talking about goalkeeper kits from the 90s. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. Gareth Bale has decided that actually Madrid is more important than golf. And he's decided to score a goal against us in that order. Unfortunately for us, it's his third goal of the season, which, considering this is the second league game, is a little bit concerning. Blanco, apparently our goalkeeper, has been error-prone today. I don't play with a goalkeeper on our bench, so it's not like I can make a change here. So I'm not sure why my assistant has to feed me this information. It's like he wants me to worry. Anyway, Marcelo wins the ball for them here. Where is he running with it? He's running so quick, he's like leaving like a trail of dust behind him. So now with Benzema. Cruz with the ball, switches the plate. Maybe our big pitch is going to come back to bite us. Oh my gosh, Blanco, what are you doing? Nothing silly, please. Lobotka to Mendes. I mean, there's going to be loads of space here for us in the wide areas. And while Mendes has found some, play the ball square. That wasn't the square ball I was thinking. But Lobotka, Denis Suarez, you're paid £95,000 a week and you can't hit the target. He was offside. He's been offside a few times. He might have another chance here. Until he gets headed back to Courtois by Varane. You can see here, they're trying to build from the back. And we are going to press pretty hard here. We've got to be... The more I think about it, pressing as hard as we are is a little bit mad when you consider the size of this pitch. And while Bale's found some space in behind, Reguilon, who's one of our fastest players, isn't quite as fast as Gareth Bale, who finds space in behind. And this brilliant idea I had in my mind of crowding out the midfield and pressing hard, it doesn't really work when Modric plays a ball like that. That is an absolutely nuts through ball, and I don't really know what to say about it. The effort didn't exactly go right into the bottom corner, but... I mean, this is a sign of the progress that we need to make here. I want to be winning La Liga in 5 years. I've said this far too often in the first 3 episodes for us not to try and get close to it at the very least, as Courtois hoovers that up. But this has been a tiny bit of a reality check. It's worth noting, they've had 2 shots on goal and they've both gone in. We've had 1 clear-cut chance of our own and we missed it. On another day, it's 1-0 to us and we're cruising away. Like, they've not dominated the ball by any means, which I guess is the silver lining if you can find one. Unfortunately, the chances we're giving up, like this one for Eden Hazard, are just clear-cut chances. They're really good opportunities where they do, on occasion, get in behind. Do you know what? I'm going to tell our players to play more attacking. We're having as much the ball as them. Let's be more direct. Oh my gosh. What an effort that was by one of their players. I think it was Hazard again. Hit the crossbar, hit the ground. Varane was offside for the rebound, but that was scary. I don't like the fact that Gareth Bale's playing so well for Real Madrid. Anyway, we're going to get shouty at the players. I can't even single out an individual. I know Blanco's not the best game in goal, but it's just no one's turned up. Hadara, Luis, Maybe I threw Luis in too soon. He's lacking some match sharpness. You know what? We're going to bring in Beltran, I think. I've got one other change. I'm going to bring in Haaland for Mina. The two players who were apparently lacking a little bit of match sharpness, we're going to change things up. And then the game cuts to show Gareth Bale scoring. What just happened? Why, FM, why have you shown me the ball in the back of the net but not the highlight itself? How did they score? He's got a blooming hat-trick. Casemiro. I mean, where is Bale in this situation? There he is. I mean, it's on his right foot. It's bent a lot, to be fair. The keeper has his hands on his hips. Maybe Blanco should be dropped for the next game. We talked last episode about how I don't really know who my best goalkeeper is. Mate, Blanco, mate, you're not making a great case for yourself to be our first choice. Apparently, Bale is dominating the game and we must close him down better. Brilliant. He's only scored 3 against us, so I'm glad we've had this advice. I feel like we were doing better when we were unbalanced rather than attacking. But 2-0 down, we needed to go for it. Oh my gosh, Malo to Haaland. Can he score? No, he's still looking for his first goal. I'll be a little bit concerned if he doesn't score within the first 5 games of the season. Mendes to whip it in. Onguene can't quite get there. Courtois squats on the ball like a chicken laying on her egg. And unfortunately, laws of nature mean you can't take the ball from under the chicken, or the egg from under the chicken, or the ball from the goalkeeper. Where am I going with this? I'm not sure. Malo is on an adventure. Haaland, what can you do? You can see by the footprints where the play's been. Denis Suarez, I mean, that's a nut save by Courtois. I'm not even upset about that actual effort. Maybe I shouldn't have made the pitch so big, in hindsight. I just thought, we've got athletic players. We're going to dominate possession. It's going to be fine. Can't really dominate the possession so much against a team like Real Madrid, regrettably, as we've experienced firsthand here. Suarez hasn't had a great game. You know what? We'll use this as an opportunity to give Keko a little run out. At 3-0 down, I'm not going to say I've given up on us getting back in the game with 10 minutes left, but hope has faded. You know, my expectations, they've gone down a notch. But we'll get Keko on. Maybe he'll score a hat-trick in the last 5 minutes. I think last episode I said, I'd be happy if we only lost 2-0. I mean, 3-0's close. Beggars can't be choosers. I mean, at least the players reacted well to my last team talk. Regrettably, though, it's a little bit of an embarrassment in our first home game. I mean, if we've done a fan day or something to really get the fans on board, you know, with our first ever game, it's not going to have sold and got loads of bums into seats, is it now? Like, that is going to be a concern for us. It's not great. How is our B team doing? I feel like I should care about our B team because they do actually play in a league. They've not played a game yet. When do they play? Let's have a look. We have got a B team. There's some pretty good players in there. B team schedule. What are you playing in? Okay, you start in September. We'll keep an eye on our B team. Like, both our under-19s and our B team have some pretty good players. Many of these actually are players that are already at Celta Vigo at the start of save games. We have added in a few of the decent little hot prospects who I'm hoping can come good for us. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on things and see who really develops in our team. Of course, we've got the Youth Development Centre, which we will definitely make use of, I feel like. It's weird, the Development Centre. It's really great like 6 months into a save, but when you first start your first FM20 save, you kind of look at it and go, what's the point? When this is all filled out, I'll feel satisfied and I'll feel a lot happier. But yeah, there's more hot prospects than that screen lets on at the club right now. Alvarez, you're going to get a chance next time. Mark my words. In terms of next time and when we'll be back, I think we'll do the Barcelona game. We have to do the Barcelona game, don't we? They're 13th. I think they've drawn their first 2 games. We're at Espanyol in the league. Can we claim that we're the best team in the city? I can't actually see Espanyol. They're 4th. All right, write that off. We'll claim it at some point, I hope. But no, it's going to be a big game against Barcelona. We need a better performance. I'm going to look at maybe how we can tweak this tactic against bigger teams. We've also got Valencia, which is not an easy game. in the interim, their predictive, it's going to be tricky. When you come back next time, I might be crying. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. And well, hopefully I see you guys and there isn't too many tears. If you have enjoyed today's video, do drop a like on it, guys. Let me know what you make of the series so far. Who are players who perhaps we should give more game time to? Overall thoughts, opinions, all that jazz. Get it down in the comments. And well, if you've got nothing to say at all, just write hello Jack, because it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and all that jazz. But no, I'm rambling on now. Leave a comment, say hello. I will try and say hello back to each and every one of you. And well, until next time, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.